What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. And the judge in the Wendy Williams case is upset because Wendy is trying to get her freedom back. But y'all remember that judge was once under investigation because they alleged that she was taking bribes from the same attorneys that she was appointing to these cases. I'm smelling the cover up.
So a straight shooter, pow pow. And
like the video's intro plays, we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
Make it make sense. You know what's up.
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things in your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things in your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Anthem left the party, and as soon as the elevator door closed, there's 3 minutes and 27 seconds of beatdown.
Scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me.
Beyonce waited a long time before she stepped in between them. Yes, she almost kicked him in his area. Security guard was standing there like this is nothing new between Solange and Jay-Z. You know.
Okay, guys, so let's start with Jay-Z. I told you when I initially reported on the story that Jay-Z had to have these things on tape when he made allegations that the Jane Doe said she made it up. Well, the tapes have now been released and packaged to, I want to say, was it NBC or ABC News? ABC News.
Assault has all.
Oh, like the video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe.
Already dropped her lawsuit. But now, for the first time, you're going to hear the story behind the bombshell accusation that has since been withdrawn. Jay-Z's lawyer says it should put to rest any doubt about his innocence. This morning, the woman who said she was 13 when Sean Jay-Z Carter and Sean Diddy Combs sexually assaulted her after the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards is heard talking to private investigators about her claim and agreeing that Jay-Z did not assault her.
But Jay-Z you're saying he was definitely there? But he had no part in it, or he was just...
He was there.
He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
The woman is also heard say...
Very quickly, before we finish this out, remember, this was packaged by Jay-Z's attorneys, and clearly you can hear the dog in the background, so this wasn't like a meeting in an office. The woman alleges that Jay-Z's attorneys or private investigators have been following her around to the store outside of her home. So I actually want to hear the entire tape because we are dealing with somebody who has autism and has a head injury. I don't think that this woman was truly capable of filing a lawsuit of this magnitude, but let's continue.
Saying her lawyer put her up to suing one of the world's most recognizable stars.
He was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him.
With Jay-Z. Busby did?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
ABC News exclusively obtained a minute-long excerpt of the recording made days after the woman identified as Jane Doe.
I don't put anything past Busby. This is very damning evidence, and if anything, it shows that no case should have been filed if it were not properly vetted. If this woman is indeed and we've learned a lot about her in the last week, if this woman was indeed a victim, I feel like it was Busby. Sorry, I take that back. It was Busby's responsibility to vet her claims to the 10th power. I told you, I feel like we have reached the space where there are some people who may have some mental struggles, mental difficulties, whatever the appropriate term is, you guys can fill in the blank, who really truthfully believe that they have been impacted by some of these people or victims of some of these people. And it's the attorney's role to hear the claims, vet them, and then put out a lawsuit. In this instance, we have her telling Busby one thing and her telling Jay-Z's attorneys or Jay-Z's private investigators something else. Could it be that she just tells whomever whatever when she's in their presence? Who knows? But we will be finding out in the course of Jay-Z's 2 lawsuits, one against Busby and another against Busby and the Jane Doe. I want to point out that Jay-Z requested that Jane Doe remain anonymous. That was in a court filing last week.
Permanently dropped her lawsuit against both Carter and Combs last month.
The people around Mr. Carter wanted to know what happened behind closed doors. And so they asked for her to be interviewed. The interview occurred, and the tape speaks for itself. She says, in no uncertain terms, Mr. Carter did not do this. It is effectively a lie. And the only reason Mr. Carter is even involved in this is because she was pushed to involve him, pushed to include him by a lawyer.
The accuser's lawyer, Tony Busby, called it a blatant lie that he pushed Jane Doe to sue Jay-Z, and he sent us this recording of a phone call with his client.
They say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. They don't. I've never said that.
Okay. They also say that you told them, and they have it on tape, that I, Tony Busby, told you to came up with this plan and told you to say that Jay-Z assaulted you so you would get more money.
No.
Jane Doe said in a court filing, although I ultimately chose not to pursue them, I stand by my claims.
So again, she's telling Busby one thing and she's telling Jay-Z's attorneys another. I don't know the ins and outs of, her cognitive reasoning skills based on the head injury that they say she sustained and the multiple traumas she's experienced in her life, and coupling that with autism. That's not in my wheelhouse. Could it have been somebody who felt scared and pressured because now there are people following her around all the time and she says whatever? Possibly. Could she have felt scared or pressured by Busby to say that some of these things occurred? Possibly. I don't know. And now that we have her on tape, talking to both attorneys and telling both attorneys kind of what they wanted or needed to hear, I don't know. Maybe it's going to take an independent investigator to come in and speak with her and see what the truth is, because at this point, I don't know if it's in her. I don't know. Y'all can put in the comments how you feel, but this does not look good. Mostly, I would say, for Busby, because the young lady is somebody who suffers from mental illness, from a mental illness or multiple. I'm not sure.
He says in a sworn declaration that she felt intimidated and terrified at being confronted by these 2 individuals on my doorstep. Was she coerced in any way?
Of course not. They did not coerce her, promise or threaten her in any way, shape, or form. She voluntarily met and spoke to them.
You could hear her dog in the background. They were probably more than likely at her house. They were not in an office. Does she know she was being recorded? Is that even admissible?
And she told them her truth, which was, under no circumstances did Mr. Carter do this. And number 2, the only reason he's even involved in this is she was pushed to introduce him by a lawyer.
Does your client know Jane Doe?
No.
Ever met her?
No, Mr. Carter doesn't know Jane Doe, never met Jane Doe. There's no truth to any of this.
Okay. Moving right on. Wendy Williams. So, I'm going to continue covering the Wendy Williams story. I do feel like Wendy is in control of her faculties and is due a independent investigation to see if she is unable or unfit to care for herself, or if she can get off some of these restrictions at the very least. I'm with the Free Wendy movement, but the judge is pissed, and that does not bode well for Wendy. It says, Wendy Williams, guardianship judge, pissed off. She's talking to media, threatens even more restrictions. She looked like that woman from Dan's mom. What was her name? Abby Lee Miller? The judge in the Wendy Williams guardianship case is fed up with Wendy's behavior and wants her moved to another facility, presumably with even tighter restrictions. TMZ is privy to an email Judge Lisa fired off to Wendy's lawyer, and the judge is having trouble hiding her contempt for the former talk show host. The judge references a prior hearing in which she ordered that Wendy be moved to a new facility. Apparently, Wendy's lawyer fired back, saying it would be the wrong move to have her be in an even more restrictive facility than where she is right now, a residential facility called Katori. The judge wrote in the email, "I've always contended that Wendy will be given the independence she can handle. I question how well she has handled the independence she has been given. They don't want her talking to the media. I wonder why." Multiple sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the judge is pissed off Wendy has been speaking to the media and grousing about the guardianship and the facility she's in which she calls a luxury prison. Our sources say the judge has repeatedly warned Wendy not to speak to the media, although the judge never explained why she had a problem with Wendy speaking out. Why would you have any issue with this woman speaking to the media? At last I checked, it was a free country. Or are you just so accustomed to people who don't have the ability to vocalize what they're going through in a guardianship? Because at the end of the day, it is a business. People are making money off this. You don't want them to rock the boat. I wonder why. You kind of mess with the wrong one, because Wendy isn't going to stop talking. And now that Wendy is sober, she wants the hell out. In another very recent email, Judge Sokoloff showed her hand pretty clearly, telling Wendy's lawyer, "Tell your client that if she wants a jury, she should refrain from trying to poison the jury pool." In other words, the judge is upset that Wendy is telling the media she's not mentally incompetent and should not be locked in a guardianship. The judge clearly has problems with Wendy speaking out. Although Wendy says she feels like a prisoner in Katori, despite the guardian's lawyer saying she's free to come and go, Wendy says she cannot even leave the 5th floor memory unit without an attendant letting her go down the elevator. And as a result, she is rarely able to get fresh air. A current staffer at the facility confirmed this to TMZ. Wendy also cannot receive phone calls. She has no internet and says she's almost never allowed visitors. Y'all, let's not forget this. Judge overseeing Wendy Williams' guardianship was once under investigation. The New York judge overseeing Wendy Williams' guardianship was previously under investigation over what reporters described as a concerning link between her guardianship cases. Several sources are revisiting a January report from WABC, which detailed a 6-month probe into the Manhattan judge, Lisa Sokoloff, over allegations she took bribes from guardianship lawyers. And if I'm not mistaken, one of those attorneys was Wendy's guardian. The news station learned that Sokoloff awarded guardianships to attorneys, law firms, and other parties who donated to her Supreme Court campaign fund between 2019 and 2022. The judge received $5,700 in campaign donations and granted 62 appointments in 2022 alone, according to public records. Sokoloff appointed a state administration attorney, Sabrina Morrissey, as the former talk show host guardian after Wells Fargo froze Williams' financial accounts in 2022. The investigation found that Morrissey didn't make any donations to Sokoloff, but the Manhattan judge awarded several guardianship appointments to the lawyer that same year. Sokoloff also revoked power of attorney from Kevin Hunter Jr., Williams' son, who was accused of spending over $300,000 of his mother's money. He claims he always asked his mother, "We got all this." The point is, I don't trust the judge. I don't. She got shifty eyes. It is a business. And like I said in the video yesterday, the only reason that I feel that Wendy's guardian showed up to Wendy's hospital visit was to make sure that the hospital didn't do anything legally that could hurt their chances of keeping Wendy. It's just my opinion. I don't know. We'll see. But it's important that Wendy has her own independent attorney who can help assist her. And I think it is important that she keeps speaking out. Just because you have a guardian does not mean that you should be in prison. There should not be no internet, no outdoor without a guardian or someone present. You can't talk to the media. You can't do this. Is she in jail, or is she just needing somebody to make sure that her family does not, take advantage of her money? We're going to keep following this story till the end. I'm saying free Wendy every day, all day. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later.